So once again, I have to apologize for not actually having any of the books with me, but I think you're getting the gist by now that these are so far in the distant past that, and given that I've moved around so much, it would have been quite difficult to keep them with me. But I think this one will prove to be a popular one, at least I hope so. And certainly people my age and a little bit older should remember these with fondness. Hello everybody, welcome to and welcome back to my channel Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and I hope very much you're all doing well. So, right, now, we did the Willard Price books last week, these adventure books, and sticking with the theme of adventure, we're going to go all in, right? You might even guess what I'm coming up to right now. What do you think?
These pages tell my story. They shape who I am.
You might be right. Anyway, most books take you on a journey, but these books, they let you take the wheel. They let you grab the adventure by the horns, or at least they let you think that you're in charge before sending you to dramatic and completely avoidable deaths or other things like that. That's right. Today we're talking about, drumroll, Choose Your Own Adventure books. That's right. The Choose Your Own Adventure books were a mainstay of my childhood, and I believe also contribute to making me the person I am today, from a reading point of view at least. So if you were a kid in the 80s or 90s, you would definitely remember these. You'd read a few pages, and then you were presented with a choice. You'd have to make a decision, turn to the corresponding page, and suddenly you were either a hero or falling headfirst into a volcano or something like that. So there was no pressure there for kids. I wonder if they would even allow it today. It would probably seem that it would trigger something or cause anxiety or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. But all I know is I really enjoyed them. The genius of these books, of course, lay in how much power that you felt they gave you. You know, you could be an astronaut, detective, a time traveler, but one false move, one wrong move, and it was all over. You could find yourself being eaten by a mutant lizard or a rogue dinosaur or whatever else, and somehow, no matter what choice you made, you very often ended up in trouble. Or perhaps that was just me and my terrible decision making. For me, there's so many to choose from. I don't actually know exactly how many there were, but I read quite a lot of them, of course. Well, I did a sneaky bit of looking up, and hopefully it won't show in the edit, though it probably will. But it seems that Bantam published 184 original Choose Your Own Adventure titles, so definitely didn't read all of them. And there were apparently over 100, or nearly 100 rather, additional spin-off titles. So yeah, I already mentioned they were printed in, sold over 250 million copies and printed in 38 different languages. That's incredible. Wow. And such great books. I might see if I can track some down somewhere and have a look and see if I can still find them exciting. And I think the ones that stick in my mind, and I want to know your favorites down below too, if you can remember, were the Abominable Snowman, Choose Your Own Adventure, as well as House of Danger. They all had twists and traps and about 50 different ways to meet your untimely demise. And that was the best part, of course. If you failed, you just flip back to the beginning or flip back a few pages, pretended it never happened. I mean, who didn't cheat at these books? You? Me? Maybe. Maybe sometimes. So what about the series? Well, it was created back in the late 70s and early 80s by a chap called Edward Packard, and they were later expanded by R.A. Montgomery. As I said, they all started late 70s and 80s, and they were everywhere. I think from my research, it shows they sold over 250 million copies, making them one of the most successful children's book series ever. And they weren't just fun. I think they actually made kids excited to pick up books and read them because you were kind of in control. I mean, I certainly remember kids reading them all over the school playground, and if we had to take out books from the library, it was always something people ran towards. So, yeah. Anyway, looking back, the Choose Your Own Adventure books were probably the first time I realized how, you could really get involved in stories and how the storytelling could change, and, things really were down to the flick of the pen of the author. It wasn't just about reading. It was about experimenting, taking risks in life, making decisions, and of course, occasionally regretting the decisions you made. So, I guess they kind of help lay the foundation for real life, although It's not often you're going to find yourself eaten by a mutant lizard. But there we have it. That's another chapter in the books that made me, the Choose Your Own Adventure books. Did you read them as a kid? And of course, more importantly, did you actually play fair? Or did you keep your finger on the pages just in case? Let me know in the comments. Thank you, everybody. Do take care. All the best. Bye for now.